Design.
Yo, Adumo, na your lunch no, enya masu fiti last week. That's why busy sir.
Someone na home na waba na makasem lunch na ngudi lunch.
Yo, say me mowa mitimi check sa mo say why busy. Now unti na nedu say ene fa ko first light
First light is me but yes me nanti am for security, me so me pay security.
Yes, uni ministry no my baako na mo pese mo pam Nico enti Nico na nka say je adwuma the boxing authority president.
But I'm sure you are saying it the awate. I'm not in a game of reactions, but IMAX Media and IMAX FM, no friend there. I need to respond. After all, still, I know my roots. I know where I'm coming from. Into respect, into Meba platform, so not to respond to noise. We've got to be very careful. Say, progress makers and noise makers. No, we need to choose. And for me, assignment I'm supposed to make progress. Whatever I'll do to make progress for the NSA, for the Ministry for Sports in Ghana, that's my business. However, issues, but now we need to address them. Then, of course, we need to do that in a rightful manner. We're doing, why we're doing it, and for transparency reasons and also good governance, we owe it to explain our actions or inactions. The Minister for Sports and Recreation set up a committee to look into the death of the Nigerian boxer,
sure,
and also to find ways to streamline any other excesses which might be detrimental to the sport. And almost findings about some of the findings quite unfortunate, if I want to use that word. I'm not being judgmental, but they're quite unfortunate because.
Okay, unfortunate. Does it mean it has implicated the current GBA?
It has, and one thing we need to also bear in mind is that this committee was set up and led by none other than the Ambassador Amarkai Amarteifio. We know his credentials, where he's coming from, and he sat over this, interrogated, or should I say, invited so many people to find out what their positions were regarding not just the death, but other. It's clearly they could have done an extension of the job, or they could have done it in a week, but they took their time, and these are the recommendations and findings they've come out with. And beyond that, one of the key things is to restore boxing to some sort of stability, and in so doing, the National Sports Authority must come out with a plan to for a roadmap for the elections which are due, very soon. And that is what we're in the process of doing by discussing with the stakeholders and making sure that the composition of that committee is very solid, very strong, wide representation, so that we make sure the elections itself are clean, fair, and boxing would not repeat some of the mistakes of the past.
Okay, yeah. But wait there, sorry for my interjection. Per the directive minister,
the recommendations
of the report, and with the instructions from the minister set the report, and what's the NSA now federations in Yashamas, you put up a team, one be facilitate the upcoming GBA elections for the new leadership. I want to take over GBA. And yes, I know, Pache.
What summarizing the paper, you've nailed it perfectly. So it is a process, and in so doing, one of the reasons that the committee has not yet been set up, we're almost there, is to make sure that all the members are astute and impartial, and they are 100% committed to the cause of what we're about to do. Let's say, for an example, Azuma Nelson is on the committee. We know what he's bringing on the past. Going forward, Azuma Nelson, is recommending to this committee that let us ensure that the new NSA to this and that and that. And in the past, we were not doing this. Going forward, let us do this. Going forward, let us not do this. And the person, Azuma Nelson, does not need any introduction in Ghana boxing, let alone Ghana. These are the kind of people we need, technical people, the medical people, the legal people, so that they advise the NSA, the ministry, the sports fraternity, and the new incoming GBA team. This is how we go and go about things. It is not a witch hunt.
Okay, yeah.
It is not.
I'm happy you brought the word witch hunt. Mpacho, on this platform, I can confirm, but I don't know about other platforms. Yes, a minister, no? Honorable Kofi Adams, what GBA president name Abraham Nikwe Kote no akachen say you move. What TBB sir?
Well, I think Honorable Kofi Adams is a man of virtue. He can speak to these. So on the GBA president, if they've had a discussion and these matters were closed door, I think it's important also to hear from Honorable Kofi Adams. And I'm sure at the right time he'll speak to this matter. Unfortunately, I was not part of that meeting, so I can neither confirm or deny. But I may assure, sir, Honorable Kofi Adams will speak to you at the right time to clarify this and many other matters. Unfortunately for the GBA president, he has raised a number of concerns. It doesn't mean we should throw them away. We can listen to them and we can find out exactly what the challenges are and where he's coming from.
Yeah,
but he's resigned.
And there seems to be this looming wild allegation. It might come out. The spokesperson of the GBA, Amin Lamte, accuses the minister of fighting a battle on behalf of the former minister. According to Amin Lamte, he has a personal problem with the GBA boss, and for that reason, the honorable minister has taken it upon himself. Say, Oboko Santo Konoma Nilante, and he bisa say, and Tokwa Ben, say, no munya boxers, or say, and Tokwa Danilante, GBA president in terminal, or can you be close to your radio station where unim bibisa?
I cannot speak to that. Nana, I would say communication. No, I say very careful. Now, my colleague and brother Amin Lamte has actually put pressure on himself to disclose whatever it is, whether it is on radio, in media, or privately. I'm sure when he's called, he can explain what that explosive information that he has owned to me. Let's be frank and straight. If you can't speak it, don't address it and cause controversy. I don't think our job is to cause controversy. I mean, he's a fine man, but for some reason, he's not handling the situation very well. And I'm saying this with all due respect. Sometimes we all get carried away because we're very, very passionate about the job. But he also must exercise caution in the people he's dealing with. Honorable Neil Antevandapo is a former minister for sports. Current minister for sports and recreation, Honorable Kofi Adams. If you're dealing with these two personalities, I think you should have called them that respect and go to them. And if there's an issue you don't understand or you've heard from a third source, I think you should go to them and deal with it in that manner. But if you come and sit on radio and you're raising these accusations, surely you're not making matters better, but you're making matters worse. And then we ask ourselves, what exactly is the motive of this committee and come well? This is the last time I would address this issue and mention Amin Lamte's name. He's a respected boxing pundit, he's a respected journalist, he's a lecturer. We don't need to go there.
Now, for us here, we have an interest in boxing, and our interest primarily lies with the success of Ghana boxing through our IMAX Media Boxing Promotion League. So, said, Nikwe has been at the forefront of this organization and their partners. So, Nikwe is a judgment or cop. Also, outfits to ensure we have a team in place to see the new direction of Ghana boxing. What happens to the IMAX Media Promotions Boxing League?
Well, if you know who I am, then I'm sure you'll be calm and confident in the fact that I will certainly not make this a vendetta or personal issue. There may not be any personal with anybody. I make sure that they know about it. I put it straight. So this is about the work. It's about the profession. It's about an assignment that we need to do. It might not be comfortable. We nature of the terrain. And into our presidency, if we need any backing, any support, anything that is challenging, then we should let them know. And there are channels through which we can pass before we get to the presidency. I don't think this is a crisis. This is a solution. We've done it with football normalization. It depends on how you see whether the outcome was good or not. But with boxing, it's going to be run by deep respected and widely knowledgeable boxing people to make sure that we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. I mean, Lamtifo, may be called to come and serve on this committee. He should calm down. I think we're all not happy with what has happened, especially the sad demise of this Nigerian boxer, which is boxing, and globally, it's taken some shine off. But we've had immediately after that a program which tried to bring some of the shine back to boxing. It was, but as a boxing family, we need to sit together and see how we can address it rather than tearing each other apart. And for IMAX Media, I was the genesis of part of this boxing resurgence. And certainly, I wouldn't want to destroy something that I know is necessary and has contributed not just financially, but in terms of the ecosystem of Ghana boxing. Why would I even want to damage such a brand? If anything, I would fight for such a brand and defend it in any capacity that I have.
Ankara Kuchu. Yeah. Minisha mebusa biom. From where you the end that is what I'm happy about. Ya can there, I'll leave it for the public. Nyankopon shall son yakasa. Siam Povankra, NSA boss. Just one kasa on. And I wait the Obakakra on. And I do the man kasa.
Mira Okakra.